Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. Um, so this was the Colecovision sent to me for the, they attempted the mod on their own and were not successful. So what I'm going to do now is just go do a simple pull off the solder joints on here. One thing I noticed on the this modification, the instructions for it. This is from let me see here. I got a web page open. It's from retrofixes.com. I don't see. See, they probably should have a 75 ohm resistor in series with the 75 ohm resistor in series with the audio, because you have a mismatch impedance at that point unless you get 75 ohms on here. I might add that because it seems a little bit odd, because they're just coming directly off of here. Let me see if there's any solder bridges. So I'm just going through here and just gonna discombobulate the whole thing. The 75 ohms thing is not the customer's fault. So I'm just going through and pulling off all the old solder. A little bit of a solder burn on the case there. It's alright. Just going to completely discombobulate this. Somebody used a high resin solder. You could smell it. Okay, so this is the board. There's a couple of through-hole connectors. I'll just pull those off, clean it up. What I don't like about these kits is they give you one color wires. You have to be very careful about what goes where. So I generally prefer using colored wire so I know where the heck I'm going. Oh, wow. Okay. That's garbage. That's all trash. There's just 4 capacitors on the whole board. They're 10 microfarad, 16 volts. I'm out of 16 volts for some reason, so all those replacement 25s. You can always go up, but you still want to go down. I do have some audio ones. Maybe I'll throw those in instead. Okay. Oh. Swell. Okay. Pull this wire off. Actually, it takes a lot of practice to learn how to solder. It's not like you do it overnight kind of thing. So I have no real opinion on all this. Wow, that's a lot of solder. Okay. Sorry, that was just an opinion on this. It's just a lot of solder. It's leaded solder, I can tell you that. Melt point's low. I still use lead solder because these old systems were designed for it. They got the lead-free, the Rojas stuff, but it can cause issues. You can get tin whiskers. Military programs, they still make you use leaded solder because something called dendritic growth can happen on, and you can't really afford that when it comes to military hardware. course, the biggest irony is they get rid of all the lead in solder, and it causes all sorts of new issues. And the greatest irony of it all is, like, 2 car batteries use more lead than, like, the entirety of, like, electronics for a year. It's ridiculous. You just don't use that much lead. That's my rant about Rojas. Good intentions. The only good one they got rid of was cadmium, which they still use in the military. Cadmium is, oh my goodness. That stuff goes right through your skin. Oh, wow. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Oh my god, it actually clogged my solder sucker. Yippity. Look at that. Oh my god. You hear the clunk. That's a lot of solder. Okay. I was warned though, so I was warned. Just fine. That's why I'm in here. So yeah, well, since I'm in here, I'm also going to replace those caps since I'm here. You know, a few years ago, I switched from doing RCA jacks to tip ring sleeve, which is nice because it just puts a single hole in the housing. So if I was doing this mod myself from scratch, I'd use a TRRS, they call it, instead. And the advantage of that is you just have to drill like one 4mm hole or so. It's actually kind of nice. And you just use a little adapter coming out, so you don't have to mess with these darn things. It makes it much neater. You barely even know you modded your system at that point. Because it puts such a small, all you end up with a little nut on there, and that's it. And you do everything through a little adapter. Too many crickets, come on. Wow. You don't want to come. I'm just going to cut you off then. Just want to clean out these solder lugs a little bit. That's alright. Alright. Heating up this plastic a little more than I like. I can smell it. That's clean enough. I don't want to overheat this plastic and melt it. Alright. So that's that. So it's got 1, 2, 3, just 4 of them. What I like to do is grab a little marker. And I don't. Where's my blue marker? I'll go with a lovely lavender. So I like to mark them so I know which ones need to come out. I'm gonna do this the crazy way. I'm gonna heat up one side and just pull it out. turn down my iron a little bit. I don't want to. These traces are old. I'm going to turn it down to about 600. I'll do about 620. Turn it about 620F so I don't melt the sucker. Last thing I want to do is destroy these traces. It is a old system, getting close to 40. Let's see if we can do it this way. Oh, these old systems had a lot of lead. Okay. A lot of solder. Okay, good. Just don't want to pull up any traces accidentally. Almost looks like this cap completely dried up. Carefully just trim the end of this off. One end's out. Come on, baby. I'm just trying to do this really delicately. I don't want to damage it. So counterintuitively, what you do is you add a little extra solder to the hole so get everything to flow. Oh, come on. Just gonna cut it off and then suck it out. Still decent looking cap. 10 microfarad 16. I'll just replace it with 25. Hole does not want to come clean. I don't like doing front side, top side sounding, but sometimes you're stuck doing it. Let's see if I can get this cleaned out. Part of the problem you run into is when they put it in the first place, they trimmed it, they put it in, they spread it, and then they trim it. So if you look on the board here, you'll actually see, oh, where's that? Where's the focus at? You always see there's a little positive right there. Always get that in the light right. There's a little plus right there. So you know your polarity you got to work with. Electrolytics, they always have a stripe on the negative side. Electrolytics literally have an electrolyte. It's a liquid that dries up over the years. Let me see if I can just do some fancy backside soldering and push that little bit through that's still in the hole. Son of a bitch, come on. If I had my really fine tip iron, I would be able to just push it through. Yeah, it did go through. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there, that in there. Don't ever worry if your caps are smaller, physically smaller. What happens is technology improves over the years. That's funny. A little bit of it's still there. Yeah, that's all right. We'll live. And the reason I mark my caps is when you do this a long time, your solder work can sometimes just disappear into what you've worked on, so you can't really tell what you reworked and what you didn't rework. So you want to make sure you hit everything. 1, 2, C16 there. I'm gonna go, let's see, what are you? I'm just gonna cut it off from this side and then suck it through. C16 is also 10 microfarad 16. And that is sitting there. It's this guy right here. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a challenge figuring out when you flip that board over what's what. This looks like a relatively important capacitor. I gotta turn my iron up, it's a little too cold. Relatively important cap because I can see it's on the main 5-volt line here. There it is. Sit right on the tip. Alright, so that's one side. This side's going to be a little harder because there's a crap ton of solder there. Just going to sit there a minute. Just warm it up. See, it keeps happening. There's so much solder. You go to do the next solder suck, it melts onto the board, defeating the whole purpose of it. Wow, that one doesn't want to come at all. Yeah. What I'm going to do is push it through. That's this guy right here. It's my least favorite part of retro repairs, actually. Cap replacements. That's a large pad. Okay. I can see it sticking up there. Just trying to get it so I can just kind of pop it out. This one's gonna suck. This is gonna be the hardest pad on the whole thing. Alright, let's see if I can. They actually make really cool desoldering stations, but I just never want to invest that much into it. Almost got you. Come on, you smarmy old bugger. I could see you. Just gotta pull you out. Yeah, this is the hardest part, getting the old one out. I would not advise topside soldering. It's a bad habit. I only do it because these old systems tend to be a bit of a pain. There we go. If anyone wants to donate a $500 desoldering station to me, go right ahead. I won't complain. Okay, there's your positive. Right there. I remember doing this in my own Coleco Atom when I recapped it. Oh, it's that late. Holy crap. Yeah, I get to bed soon. Luckily, I warned this charming patron that I'm going to do this between projects. So that's this guy right here. Looks like, okay. It's down here. Is that one? And that one. So it's further down. Looks like it's these. I'm not Hundo P on this one. It might be these two. Alright, let's take a look here. Let me melt one of these and see if I can get it. So that's going to be the further up. Let's see, I'm just going to hold this up. I have a pretty bright light over here actually. Okay, so that is that lead right there. Let's see which leads which. This lead and this lead. Okay, so it's these. It's not that one. It's these four. By the look of it. Yeah, let's go. Let's see if I can just heat it up and pry it out. Yeah, it is that one. Yeah, first time. And that's this guy here. Heat you up. Heat you up. Almost got you out. That one came out pretty easy. You're also a 1016. Two holes up. Clear those out. Never got the hang of solder wick. I always want the solder suckers. Positives there. Negatives there. In you go. Like I was saying before, don't worry if the physical size of the caps are a little different. What happens is over the years I've gotten better at the capacitor manufacturer, so you'll get a higher capacity capacitor. Well, that's redundant. A higher capacity capacitor, and what you'll end up with is it'll be physically be smaller. So don't freak. It's totally normal. This one's hard to get at. Oh, come on, baby. Here you go. There's one side. Definitely hitting the right pad because I'm burning my fingers right now. Okay. This is a strange technique, I know. The worst? Surface mount. Oh, what a pain in the ass. Sega Game Gear. Oh my god. Doing the Mick Will scream out on that one sucks. That's one thing I don't want to do anymore. I'm so sick of those. They're so difficult. I mean, truly, just like hard to do. And you have to do almost all of it under a microscope because it's all surface mount. Oh. So the system that really broke me, Atari Jaguar. That was same capacitance, yeah, 1016. That one kicked my butt. Oh my goodness, it was just, I tried on the Sega, the Jaguar CD, I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried and tried, and I just could not fix it. I did cap replacements, I found as much technical documentation as I could, and I could not fix it. And that's what kind of broke me. It's like, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. I want to work on some of my own stuff. Of course, ironically, I'm working on somebody else's stuff right now. But that's fine. I have a soft spot in my heart for these really old systems. Jiminy crickets, come on. Alright. Last one. That's the last cap. Why do you mock me? It's positive. Oh, why is there still crap in there? You know, the same exact damn thing happened when I did my atom. This one solder joint, it always has like this little stalactite. Okay, in you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 caps are done. Yay! What does the other pain in the butt one is Sega Genesis. Too many effing capacitors in that thing, man. Alright, so I think I'm going to leave this for now. Oops, that actually goes back in this way. I got some of the crap out of here. Okay. Need a little tech duster for this. Anyway, I will finish this off tomorrow because I would like to do something else tonight. So, all 4 caps are out. All the old, since I got the iron hot, clean out one more hole. That sounds dirty, but it's not. There we go. Ooh, 2 clean and 1 bent ass hole. Okay. So before I sign off for the night, I did want to show one thing. And that is, where's my tip ring sleeves? Actually, I have a nice, really big selection of parts I keep on hand. I used to keep S-video jacks, RCAs, stereos. Where's my tip ring sleeve? Oh my goodness, did I run out? The humanity. Pots, buffers, LED zeners, amplifiers, on-off switches. Where's my tip ring sleeve? Oh my goodness. What is wrong with me? Oh, here it is. I do have it. I got cable somewhere. But it's really kind of neat because you end up with just all you have to do is have this single jack, a 3.5mm panel jack on here, and you end up, do I have a cable kicking around? That I might be out of. Wow, I keep a lot of parts. Holy moly. Power switches. Do I have any cables? AV panel. I usually keep them in there with it. See, what I end up doing is I prefer this little guy. So you just have one little hole in your panel, and then you plug in this little adapter cable, and voila, you have all your audio and video coming out through one 3.5mm jack. And that is that. So I'll put that back. Alright, so that's it for tonight, and tomorrow I'll get the little AV board wired back in and give it a test spin. Camera has not been holding focus today, but yeah. So this little guy here probably end up. They say mounted over here. I've got room. Looks like we got a nice amount of room right here, and I'll just feed the AV around, or I can put over here or something. Let's see what's least noisy. Looks like there's a nice ground plane here. I'll probably end up sticking. I don't like sticking on top of chips like they recommended. I like putting it more on a ground plane instead. So yeah, I'll figure it out. Or I can stick it on top of chips and see if those get warm. What are those? Those are Moss Tech. Those are RAM. Yeah, little Coleco video amp. So I'll end up cleaning up those holes. I'll clean this up tomorrow. I'm tired. But yeah, it's coming along pretty quick actually. So everyone, thank you for watching.